Welcome to the Girl You're a Goddess podcast, the sacred space where divine feminine energy meets empowered living. I'm Hilary Burton, a licensed therapist, feminine empowerment coach, and professional dominatrix, and I'm here to guide you on a transformative journey of confidence, sensuality, and magnetic power. Whether you're manifesting your dream life, reigniting passion in your relationships, or simply seeking more joy and pleasure, this podcast is your guide to becoming the goddess that you were meant to be. Gorgeous, gorgeous goddesses! I am so excited for our topic today. It is juicy. It's been on my mind so much this week, and we're going to jump right into it. We are the first generation of women that can live independently outside of a relationship with a man. Let that sink in. Right now, we are the daughters of the mothers who were still forced to marry men, to open bank accounts, to buy property, to build credit, to own cars. It starts with us. And that is what's causing all of this hubbub. I really just wanted to say that. That's what's causing all of this chaos and disharmony and resentment between men and women right now. Because never in past lifetimes, in previous centuries, have women been able to live independently outside of a relationship with a man. And I keep seeing that marriage was DEI for men, right? Because men who were not desirable, men who were manipulative or controlling or had zero personality, someone who's not attractive, someone who's not a healthy mate, were still getting partners because women needed the financial safety and security of being in a marriage. Women needed to be with a man to be able to have a roof over her head, to have a bank account, to have anything somewhat in her name, right? With the co-signing of a man. And now that we are literally the first generation that is changing this as a whole. I mean, women previously did that before, but it was much more difficult. It was frowned upon. A lot of times they were shamed even by other women, right? They were shamed by society in general for stepping outside of a relationship with a man to do those things. And it was just seen as so outlandish. But now it's the norm. And now we are creating a society where women do not need to be in a relationship with a man. And don't take me wrong, I love men. We love masculine energy. We need a balance of masculine and feminine. We all have this balance within us. But women do not need relationships with men. Because previously, we would be with those undesirable men. The men who were manipulative or controlling or abusive or not a healthy mate, not an appropriate partner. But women would still choose a relationship with those men over the alternative, which was not having a roof over their head, not being able to have financial security or support, and not being able to function in society. And so now that women are able to sustain themselves, we're getting more degrees. We're getting more college education. More women are owning businesses now. I just saw a statistic that said there are 2.7 million more single women that own homes than single men. That is almost 3 million women. That is a massive number of women that own homes. And that's just the more than. That's not even how many women actually own their own home. We're getting more degrees. We have more career advancements. We're starting more businesses. We own more homes. And all of these things added together are giving women the power and the independence and the selective ability. We can now select a partner. We are not forced into a relationship with a partner. And so this is where all of this tension is coming from. Because men are used to living a certain standard of life and still attracting a partner, still finding a partner, still getting married, and they live that baseline. They don't need to evolve. They don't need to demonstrate personal excellence. They don't need to offer anything other than what they've seen their fathers offer the relationship or their grandfathers offer the relationship. And so they are living at a baseline in society. And because we are the first generation that is able to say, no, I can select a partner based on these qualities, I don't have to select a partner, it's forcing men to level up. It's forcing men to bring more to the table because women are providing all of these things for themselves. And whether that's through feminine energy or masculine energy, it really doesn't matter because we still have those things in our life. We have stability, we have security, we have peace, we have abundance. We have those things and we are happy with our current circumstances. Would we like a partner? Yes. Who doesn't want to have a companion? Who doesn't want to have a partner to share life's beautiful experiences with? Of course we do. But if we're going to bring someone into this environment that we have so carefully crafted and so intentionally created for ourselves, that person needs to be a positive influence. That person needs to be bringing something into our environment that is positive, or it's something that we don't have, something that we're looking for. And so to just be an average, mediocre person who's not bringing something more to the table than what we are already providing ourselves, we wouldn't choose to be in a relationship with that person. It's equivalent to having a business and someone approaches you about a business partnership and you've been in business longer, you have, more clientele, you have more worth in your business, and someone's coming in as a partnership and they're like, oh, well, I offer just the bare minimum. I have less clients than you. I have less productivity. I don't have any cool equipment. I don't really bring anything to your business other than I just kind of want to partner up and, hang out. What? We would never accept that as a business partnership, but yet women are taught to accept that, and we're programmed to accept that in our lives. Everything we do should be an intentional decision about how is this benefiting my life. That's not coming from superiority or ego. That's just common sense. Like, that's just logic. That's just how we keep our safety and provide and protect ourselves. Why would we allow someone in our environment who's just going to take and leech off of what we have, whether that's energetics, whether that's mental capacity, whether that's physical, whether that's financial? If you're not bringing anything, that means you're taking something, right? Because it's always a give and take. And everything in life is a transaction, whether we want to view it that way or not. Energetics is a transaction. If you think about the people that you enjoy spending the most time with, it's the people that are supportive, the people that encourage you and boost you up, and it feels like they give you an energetic recharge. Those are my favorite people to spend time with because it's not draining for me. I don't feel like I'm giving more than I'm receiving. I don't feel like I'm pouring my all into them and they're not giving anything back. And so we don't do that in business. We don't do that in our personal friendships. Why would we do that in romantic relationships? Why should romantic relationships be viewed any differently than any other relationship that we have? Everything is a give and take. Everything is an exchange. Even if it's an exchange of time, of energy, of finances, of physical energy, of sexual energy, whatever it is, everything's a give and take. And so we choose to spend time with people that also fill up our cup. We choose to spend time with people that also bring something positive into our lives, where we don't feel like we're constantly just giving ourselves to them. And as women, we are natural nurturers. It is in our nature to be nurturing and kind and loving and giving. We are the natural caregivers of everyone. That is why we are so burned out, because we give so much of ourselves to everyone else. We give so much of ourselves to our family, to our kids, to our friends, to our work. We give, And then we never fill back up our cup. So we are constantly running on empty, and we are always drained. We are drained, exhausted, burnt out, on edge. And then we're in our masculine energy because we don't have a safe space. We don't feel protected. We don't feel provided for. And we are constantly in survival mode. So we are in a wounded masculine or a wounded feminine energy at that point. And that is where most of us are functioning day to day. That is why tapping into our feminine energy in a healed space is so important. So getting back to the exchange of energies and partnerships and friendships. We choose partnerships in business and friendships based on that person bringing something also positive into our lives. Not us constantly giving, because in every other instance in our lives, we are constantly giving. And that is why prioritizing yourself is not selfish. Prioritizing yourself is required, because you need to fill back up your cup before you can even think about giving more. And so when we are not filling up our own cup, we are constantly running on empty, and we are giving us and everyone else a shell of ourselves. Literally a shell of our energy, of our love, of our generosity, of our abundance. It's just the teeniest tip of the iceberg because we have no more to give. So prioritizing ourselves is so important, because you fill back up your cup, then you are radiant, you are abundant, you are giving so much. Your aura itself has energy and presence and is recharging for people. Like when you walk in a room and people automatically notice you are there, they notice your energy and they're like, oh wow, that's someone I want to talk to. That's when you know your cup is full, you are in your feminine, you have recharged your energy, you have filled up your cup. You feel confident, you feel worthy, you feel valued. But we are programmed to stay empty. We are conditioned by society and cultural expectations to stay empty. Because when we do not have the energy, the time, the love, the abundance, we accept the bare minimum. We feel like the bare minimum, so that's what we attract. We don't feel worthy, we don't feel valuable, we don't feel lovable, we don't feel like the goddess that we are. We feel like the bare minimum, mediocre, day to day. And that's what we attract. And until now, we didn't really know there was another way. I mean, women have been standing up for this and fighting for our rights for independence for a while. But until this generation, we haven't actually seen a mass of women living a different way. I got married in 2015, so 10 years ago. Even at that time, I didn't realize my life could look so different. I believed the story, the fairy tale story that we're all told, that you meet the guy, you get married, you have kids, you buy the house, you have the career, and that's the golden dream. But what I didn't know is that none of that was fulfilling for me. I thought that was the end game. That wasn't even part of the game. That wasn't even part of the game for me. And so breaking free from the so-called dream that we've been sold and learning that my happiness doesn't come from my relationship with a man. My happiness does not come from having children. My happiness does not come from a corporate job. My happiness does not come from doing things for everybody else and never giving back to myself. My happiness comes from the things that I find that are fulfilling and that bring me joy and pleasure and passion and purpose. And if a man falls into those categories, if children fall into those categories, if my dream job and my dream business falls into that category, great. I would love for all of that to be so incredibly aligned. And I think one day it will be. But right now, that's not what's fulfilling for me. Finding a man to get married is not what's fulfilling for me. That's not my big dream. My big dream is creating generational wealth. My big dream is making a massive impact. My big dream is helping women all over the world recognize their self-worth and their confidence and live as the goddesses that we are. Those are my dreams and my passions, and those are the things that are fulfilling to me. And when a man, children, the homes, when all of those things align, awesome. I cannot wait. But that's not the end game for me. And that's what women are realizing right now. Women are waking up to the fact that this pipe dream that we were sold about the marriages and the kids and the corporate job isn't cutting it. It's not cutting it. And so we don't feel like we are trapped in this plan. Who planned this for us anyways? This was never our plan. This was the plan that was just passed down by previous generations. Well, this is what you do, and this is what's acceptable, and this is what society wants from you. So that our power and our intuition and our sensuality can be suppressed, so that we can be tied down in relationships that are not fulfilling and passionate for us, so that we can build families and live the mediocre life that we don't find purpose in. And that is not to say I don't love kids. I love kids. I so incredibly respect every woman that has chosen to be a mom. So don't take this the wrong way. I'm just here saying that the dream that we've been sold is not fulfilling and purposeful and filled with passion for everybody. Like, I know my purpose here is not to have children. And that doesn't mean that I won't or that I don't want to. But I know that's not my ultimate goal or my grand purpose. And that's okay. We all are living a different life and a different journey and a different path. Like, we all have a different experience to have in this lifetime. And I personally believe that our soul comes back in many lifetimes. And so I know that I've been an incredible mother in other lifetimes. I know I would be an incredible mother in this lifetime. But is that my purpose here right now? Definitely not right now. Later on, maybe. I don't know. And that's okay. I don't have to make that decision today. And so knowing that your soul chose to be here on this planet, in this lifetime, at this very moment, listening to this podcast, it's so aligned. Like, the incredible power of knowing that you chose to be here at this time, in this moment, to make a change. That's so juicy. I know my soul chose to be here at this time during this feminine awakening to pave a path for women to build their self-worth, their confidence, and for us to step out of the shadow of shame and suppression and control. Because there is so much more out here for us than the dreams that we've been sold. And from the feminine perspective, the opportunities are literally infinite. Infinite. Like, this is the time that you can bring anything into your life. That dream reality that you've thought about for years, decades, call it in. Everything is changing. Like, I don't know about you, but I can feel the energetic charge, the charge of the feminine, the awakening. Every time I go out, I have a conversation with different women about all of this. The crazy thing is, I felt like I was in my own little bubble with this. And I know my friends have similar thoughts, but I didn't realize how many women were waking up to this and were on this path But now it's like every time I go out and I meet someone new, we have this exact conversation. And it is so incredible to feel that energy and that community and that camaraderie and that sisterhood with other women who know we're changing things. We are waking up to the fact that it's like we've been in a different reality for a long time, right? It's like we were in this like fog of control and submission and shame and guilt and just living behind a curtain. But now the fog is being lifted, the curtain's being removed, and now our eyes are open to what's been happening for so long and what our grandmothers and our mothers were fighting for. Even when they didn't know that they were fighting for it, they were still pushing for women to get out of control, out of submission, out of the shame and the guilt. And so this time right now is so powerful. And it's inspiring. And this is the stuff that gets me fired up. Like, I don't know if you can sense my energy right now. I really hope so. But I am so energetically charged about women stepping out, doing whatever the hell brings them fulfillment, passion, purpose. And the thing about women is, this is a generalization, but it's most women. We do things good-naturedly. We do things for the benefit of other people, for the benefit of society, for the good of all. We don't do things for power or control or manipulation. We truly want the best for our friends, for our family, for our communities, for our sisters. Wealth in the hands of women does so much more good than wealth in the hands of men. There was a study about how much women donate their wealth to humanitarian and philanthropic causes versus men. And it's a lot. And so we know money in the hands of women does more good than money in the hands of men. And it's natural for us to want to give, to nurture, to grow. And so when you think about the power that we hold with that, and how many women are starting businesses, how many women now own property, how many women are growing in their fulfillment and their passions, and it's bringing more wealth, more abundance, more good. And the crazy thing is, I've been hearing a lot about the mindset of men and men that have a jealousy towards women. And the jealousy towards women is directed at our childbearing abilities. The jealousy is directed at the fact that we can create, because the feminine is creation. Because if men had the power to give birth, they would use that to create offspring, to bring control, and to build their own communities, their own clans, and to go to the extreme, their own armies, right? But there are a lot of men who would use the incredible gift of childbirth as power and holding that power over other people. And women don't view childbirth as having power. We view it as a gift. We view it as one of the most incredible gifts that we can give to ourselves and to the world and to the children that we are bringing to life. And we don't have children to get power, to get control. We have children for love and nurturing and creation and abundance. And so the view on that between men and women is so different. And so there's a jealousy from men that women have that power of childbirth, and then we would choose not to use it, right? Those of us that choose that we don't want to have children, or whatever that looks like for whatever reason. And so men don't understand why we wouldn't use that power. But it's not something to be used. It's an incredible gift of love and abundance and nurturing, and we wouldn't use that for power. And so that adds to the tension between men and women right now, because not only are women choosing not to be in relationships with men who do not hold their standard or their expectations, now we are also choosing not to have children with those men. When those men want children to bring that power and control, and not all men. There are incredible men out there. There are incredible fathers who do it out of love. But there's a large group of men who are resentful of women for these reasons. And we're talking about how we're in the place that we are right now between men and women. And that's one of the issues, is that women now have the choice to not be with men, and we have the choice to not have children with them. And so men are frustrated that they're not attracting partners, and they're frustrated that they can't control women through the children that they would have, because we're choosing not to do that right now. Some of us. And so the bottom line is, women are leveling up. Women are leveling up in their personal excellence, their mindset, their finances, their emotional and physical health, our spirituality, our well-being. We are leveling up in all of these areas because we don't have the stress of being with partners who are dragging us down. Families, we don't have the stress of raising someone else's children. And because women are leveling up in all of these areas, it is going to force the collective to also raise. Like we are elevating the collective of women. And that is going to require the collective of men to also elevate, or they won't, and they won't attract partners. We hear a lot about the male loneliness epidemic, but that doesn't have anything to do with women. Okay, so men are lonely. So go make friends. Go form a community. Go join a group. Go join a sport. Women naturally do this. Women naturally build community with other women because we thrive on the encouragement and the support and the energetics, and we love building a sisterhood. So women are naturally doing this, and that's why we're at peace without a partner. And that's why we are able to live independently without having to attract a mate. But men are not doing that. Men are choosing to blame women for their loneliness instead of evolving and leveling up as a person who other people want to spend time with. And every interaction in our life is a transaction, but women don't naturally view it that way. We feel it. We're intuitive. We sense when something is feeling very transactional. We sense when someone is using us. We sense when our energy is being drained. But we don't go into things thinking, well, this is a transaction and I'm going to say 5 nice things to her and I expect her to say 5 nice things back to me. We don't do that naturally. But men do tend to view things more transactionally. And so men view their friendships transactionally. Well, if I'm not getting anything out of this dinner, why would I go to dinner with this person? Or if I'm not benefiting from spending time with this guy playing pickleball or softball, then why would I go? Right? And so it's the view on what they're getting out of it. And they're not taking into account the energetics, the friendship, the support, the community. They just feel like they're not getting something tangible because it's not a romantic relationship. It's not something financial. It's a friendship. And because they don't feel like it's something tangible, they don't feel like it's a valuable use of their time. But then they're lonely. And so we need to take the responsibility of women out of the male loneliness epidemic. Men are choosing to be lonely because they are not someone that someone wants to spend time with. You're viewing everything as a transaction, and Other men feel like they're not getting something from you, and you apparently feel like you're not getting something from them. So you guys are choosing not to spend time together. And now you don't have community, and now you're sad. So that is a male issue that needs to be solved by men. It is not our responsibility to make men feel wanted, nurtured, cared for, supported. That's not women's responsibility. If we are in a relationship with you and you show us the utmost respect and worthiness and reverence towards the feminine and towards the relationship, and you are honest and you are loyal and you are trustworthy and you are putting in your best every single day and you are focused on your personal excellence and you have a growth mindset, then great. Then women would love to be in a relationship with you and help recharge your energy and help you feel nurtured and cared for and loved. But until that point, we are not required to give you anything. We are not required to make you feel any way. And it's the expectation of men that they are owed that by women for no reason. You are not entitled to a woman. You are not entitled to our energy, our presence, our time, our love. You're not entitled to any of that. We freely choose who we give that to. And if you choose not to be someone worthy of that, well, then you're going to experience loneliness. And you're going to experience a time that you could be using towards growth. If you're lonely and you're unhappy and you're single, this is the most incredible time for you to put into personal growth, to leveling up your finances, your emotional stability, your spirituality, your emotional intelligence. Go to therapy. If you have all this time on your hands and you don't know what to do with it, go to the gym. Go focus on personal excellence. Build your mindset. There is no excuse for men who are lonely and feel like they can't attract a partner. You have plenty of time on your hands to go level up. And as this side of the collective raises with women, the collective will also raise with men, because these men are going to be tired of getting lonely. And so they're going to have to meet this level. And it's evolution. And because we are now the first generation of women to say, I get to be selective about my partner. I am not forced into a partnership. I'm not forced into marriage. I don't have to get married for my financial safety or security or physical well-being. I get to choose my partner. And you get to choose based on whatever qualities fit well into your life. But in general, that's someone loving, kind, good-natured, honest, loyal, trustworthy. Those are qualities that we look for in a partner. A man who can hold a safe space for us, who can hold that emotional space, who has emotional intelligence, a man who is able to communicate, a man who is able to say, I've got your back and you can count on it. Like, how fucking attractive is a man who said, I've got it. I've got it. Don't worry about it. I've got you. If anything happens, I've got you. I'll figure it out. That is the most attractive thing a man can do, because as the feminine, we are craving that stability and that safety held by a man, by the masculine. So when a man embodies that safe, strong, masculine energy, that's what we're attracted to. It's not the 666. It's not the six-figure, six-pack, six whatever. We want a man who has emotional intelligence, who can hold a safe space for us, who is reliable, trustworthy, and loyal. We want a man who we know will be there, who says, I've got you, and you can count on it. That is the most attractive quality for a man. And so until men are leveling up and reaching that, until men have decided, I don't need to go around and sleep with every woman that I see, until a man has decided, I'm going to be loyal and trustworthy, I'm going to be reliable, and if I don't know how to do something, I will figure it out, those are the men that we're selecting. And so the more that we're vocal about this and the more that we hold our standards and our expectations, the more that collective level is going to raise. And I have seen content by incredible men out there who are doing just this. Men who are holding other men accountable, who are raising their standards, who are raising their personal excellence. There are incredible men out there that are doing this. And so I don't want this to be a negative thing. But we are talking about all of the tension right now between men and women, and that's where this is coming from. Because women are up here, and we are waiting for men to also come up here. And it will happen. It will happen because we want intimate relationships. We want romantic partnerships. We want that partner to celebrate and share in life with. Both sides, both men and women do. But until those relationships are both giving and taking something on the same level, it won't work. And that's why so many women are leaving marriages now. Women are more prone to filing for divorce because we don't have to be in abusive, manipulative, controlling, mediocre relationships anymore. Men and women deserve better than that. And so the more we as women raise our energy, evolve, grow in our feminine energy, awaken our sensual energy, the more that we are able to do that, our end of the collective is raising. And that's the point. And it's so incredible, the energy right now. We chose to be here at this time during all of this change to make some massive, massive waves. And I am so excited. Thank you so much for tuning into the episode today. That was completely heartfelt, and I've been having that conversation so much in the past couple weeks that I knew it needed to be heard. So thank you for tuning in. Please, please, please share this episode with any friends or family or other sisters, goddesses that you feel would benefit from hearing this message. And like, share, review my show, and I will catch all of you beautiful goddesses next week.